Thank you very much. Let me begin, if I may, with Ms. Fulton. You said that your organization, the American Logistics Aid Network, was started in response to the upheavals of Hurricane Katrina. Who started it? Who were your original clients and sponsors?
Thank you for the question, Senator. We were formed by industry associations who represent logistics and supply chain service providers. So
industry and business associations formed you.
Yes, sir.
Are industry and business associations your ongoing clients and supporters?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And why is it that industries and businesses are interested in funding and supporting your work and your services?
Businesses recognize that disasters disrupt their consumer base. So their clients are affected by disaster, and they want to make sure that their clients and their employees, the people who work for them, can continue to operate. So they rely on us, they rely on our organization to help get communities restarted, to get those communities the supplies and support that they need.
Do your industry and business community supporters come to you and say, why are you wasting your time on climate-related disasters? That's a bunch of bunk and hokum?
No, sir, they do not.
And why do you think they don't do that?
Businesses recognize that whether the risk is short-term, from a short-term disruption or long-term disruption, they have to be prepared to respond.
For what it's worth, we're seeing it on the defense side as well. We've heard from the former commander of Naval Station Norfolk, near and dear to Senator Kane's heart, that there's a timestamp on that very important naval facility because of sea level rise and flooding risk. So thank you for your work. Dr. Rose, you focused really on fertilizer in the Mississippi, but you did it, I think you said, as a case study, correct? And is it your view that the fertilizer Mississippi case study has import throughout supply chains and for a whole variety of industries and risks?
Yes, it's a good example of what we face with other commodities. As I said, we focused on the fertilizer shipments and the problems with the barges not being able to carry the loads due to low river waters. But if we also included the higher cost of grain shipments, it would increase our estimates significantly. And it's just one of many examples of transportation issues that we face that are exacerbating the problems due to climate change.
You said it was one of a myriad, I think, in your testimony. Are there any in particular that aren't the one you studied that you would flag as particular risks that we should be paying attention to?
Well, we should also be concerned about the wildfire risks to supply chains. One of our speakers, Dr. Barker, mentioned that a study, that there was no study that found that rainfall variability had a negative effect on the economy. I beg to differ with that. The variability in rainfall, for instance, is the major reason we've got more excessive, more frequent, and more excessive wildfires in the western U.S. We have periods of heavy rainfall which stimulate lush growth, and then we've got periods of drought where those dry out and they're just tinder for wildfires. Those wildfires are especially devastating for the people in those communities and parts of supply chains. Some of these wildfires are even of concern now to people in the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles.
Dr. Kelly, you mentioned that supply chains are vulnerable around the world. Same or similar question to Dr. Rose's. Are there particular vulnerabilities that you would highlight as ones that are of particular concern or that should be of particular concern to the committee, to the Congress, and to the business community?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Yes, like I mentioned in my testimony, concentration risk in supply chains is important. I think it's important that the US recognises critical supply chains such as advanced battery technology, the pharmaceutical industry, and critical components to the production of other commodities within the US economy. When doing this analysis, you can look across the globe and identify hotspots where physical risk is occurring to know where best to target and diversify supply chains to minimise the long-term risks. Thank you.
My time has expired. Let me turn it over to Senator Grassley, then Senator Kaine.
Before I